it's Miss Rowe here, and I just wanted to make this video to help you because I really struggle with one-point perspective too. It's really kind of hard to grasp and understand, but I have a few tips for you, okay? So I'm just going to write down some tips, that way you can see it and remember. The first tip is to have a really great eraser, okay? Make sure you have a really great eraser. Your second tip is to make sure you always use a ruler. Okay, and your third tip is to draw light until you know that it's right. And what I mean by that is that when we draw with a pencil, we need to draw almost so light that we can't see it, right? And I know I struggle with that too, but when we draw super duper light, we can erase it really, really well to where it's almost gone. But if we draw really, really hard and we try to erase it, you're gonna have what's called a ghost line. And when you're doing one-point perspective, it's really just a lot of guidelines is what it is, or lines to help you understand drawing. It's not necessarily drawing to make a mark on your paper. So we need to make sure that we're going to draw really, really light, okay? So there are the few tips. I'm going to leave them sitting right here. That way we can always remember those tips. And this video, I've made it just for you, and it's a private link, so no one else can see this video. Just want to make sure you knew that, Kaden. So, when we're drawing one-point perspective, it's to help us kind of maybe look down a hallway or to look down a set of railroad tracks. But what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to draw a basketball court. And the first thing I need to do is I need to make a light X on my paper, okay? And this is going to be my point where all of my other diagonal lines will touch, okay? It's right here. So Kaden, I hope you're following along with me, and I hope that you can pause the video when you need it because I might go a little quickly, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I am going to make this, if I'm going to make this a basketball court, I am going to use my ruler every time I need to make a diagonal line. So I'm going to make this diagonal line, this here, a little bit bigger, okay? Because I want this to look like a basketball court, or look like I'm looking down a basketball court, right? So I'm going to make my X a little bit bigger. Then I'm going to make a box around it. Now when I do this, this is the corner of the walls. So this would be the left corner of the walls. This here, this line here is going to be the ceiling of the walls, right? And I'm drawing light until I know it's right, okay? And then this here is going to be the right corner of my walls, okay? And then this here is going to be my floor. Now, see what I mean by draw light until you get it right? See, this here isn't touching this here. So I need to come back here, make this diagonal line longer, and actually, you know what? Just kidding, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to come here and I'm going to make this corner here touch this corner here. And I'm going to show you why. Because when I do that, I can make it look like I'm not looking at it straight on, I'm looking at it at an angle, okay? Now, you're going to erase, you're not going to erase the dot, you're going to leave the dot, but erase everything else that's on the inside. Just the inside of the box, not the outside of the box. You're going to erase everything on the inside of the box, okay? Now, this is your wall, like the back wall of the gymnasium, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these corners. I'm going to start at the box, and then I'm going to finish my diagonal line, okay? Making sure that my ruler touches the dot every time I make a diagonal line. My ruler touches my dot. I'm going to line it up with my corner, and then I'm going to make that mark. So that way that's like the seam of the wall and the ceiling. So this is the ceiling, this is the wall, this is the ceiling, okay? Then I'm going to do the same thing down here at the bottom. I'm going to make sure my ruler's touching my dot. I'm going to touch the corner of my box. I'm going to come out to the edge, okay? And then I'm going to touch my dot, touch the corner of my box, and draw it all the way out. Now, this is my floor, this is my wall, this is my wall, this is my ceiling, okay? So I know that these marks are right. So now I can go back and draw these darker because I know I've got them right. Okay? So now what I can do is if I want to draw like a basketball goal, I'm going to come in here and every line that needs to be diagonal is what we're going to line up with this dot here. Okay? So I'm not going to start with the basketball goal. I'm going to start with the scoreboard. So I want the scoreboard to be on this wall here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch my dot. I'm going to draw the top line of my scoreboard. I'm going to keep my ruler on the dot, okay? And then I'm going to draw the bottom line of my scoreboard, okay? Now I need to come make vertical lines for my scoreboard. Okay, and then I can erase this here. Okay, or this can be a scoreboard or it can be a window, whatever you want it to be. Okay, then I can do the same thing over here. I'm going to make sure my ruler touches my dot. I'm going to make a diagonal line. I'm going to move my ruler, make sure it's touching my dot every single time. And then I'm going to make a diagonal line. Then I'm going to come in, use my ruler, and I'm going to make a vertical line and a vertical line. And then I'm going to erase everything around it that I don't need. Now, if this is going to be my window, and I want there to be like a brace in the middle of my window, I'm going to line it up with my dot, and then I'm going to come in and make a line through the middle of it, just like that. Okay? Now, I'm going to make some bleachers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line my ruler up with my dot, and I'm going to come in and I'm just going to make some diagonal lines. Make sure my ruler's touching my dot, diagonal line. I'm going to make one more. Okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some horizontal lines that are alternating. That way it kind of looks like some stairs or maybe some bleachers somehow. Something, right? But make sure that you don't make a mark on your paper unless you use your ruler. That is the most important thing. And Caden, I think once you get the hang of this, you're gonna love, oh, this kind of looks like bricks. So maybe I'll just make this a gym and maybe not a basketball, like court with bleachers, right? But Caden, I really think you're gonna love this once you get the hang of it because it's really mathematical and it's really cool. And it's one of the things that I love to draw. So I'm gonna make 1, 2, 3 lines. And then I'm gonna come in with my ruler and make some alternating lines. That way it matches like my brick that I have up here on the other side. Just like that, Kaden. So anything you want to add to this, just make sure that you use your ruler. And if it is supposed to be a horizontal line or a diagonal line, make sure you touch your dot every time. So like if you wanted to make this a basketball gym and we needed to like make it look like the free throw line, I'm going to need to line it up with my dot. Line it up with my dot just like this. And then use my ruler to make the free throw line. And then if I need to make the curve, I can make the curve with my pencil. Just like that, right? And then we can make the baselines. I'm going to start with the diagonal parts first for the baselines. Okay, and then I'm going to connect those baselines together. And then I'm going to erase everything that's not there. Just like that. So Kaden, I hope this helps you. And, you know, if you ever need any help at all, you know, just email me, call me, whatever you need. I can always help you with any kind of art project at all, okay? So I hope this helps, and you can add all kinds of other things to it. Like especially in this quadrant, let me show you one more thing. If you're going to add something in this quadrant like a basketball goal, what I would do is use these X's that you've done here from before, and then make a box just like we did before. And then you've got your basketball goal, just like that. Okay? So Kaden, I hope that helps. And if you need anything at all, ever, just don't hesitate to let me know. Have a great day, dude. I hope art class goes well.